The AFK farming software, I became invincible without knowing it. Chapter 251-99 Heavenly Tribulation descends. Soul Tribulation Ming had already welcomed the 9 heavens tribulation. He raised his head slightly and looked at the sky. He could clearly see the sky change quickly. The power of heaven and earth gathered and pressed down with immense might. Such power, in the eyes of the surrounding living beings, was extremely powerful and difficult to resist. It was truly a vast heavenly might. Even if they were not in the range of the heavenly tribulation, it still pressed down on them until they could not raise their heads. In Ming's eyes, it was completely different. Facing the power of the 9 heavens tribulation, Ming felt that there was no threat at all. It was very relaxed, and the vast heavenly might was like a breeze blowing past his face. The lightning tribulation roared. The tribulation clouds that covered the heavens and the earth gathered and formed the 9 tribulations in an extremely short period of time. It was like the scene of the 9 heavens, and its might was indeed extremely vast. Crack! Crack! The lightning was like a flood dragon. This is indeed the 9 heavens tribulation. From the beginning to the end, it was only 12 days. In less than half a month, he had already transcended 7 heavenly tribulations. Now, he's even about to transcend the last 9 heavens tribulation. Everyone exclaimed again. The final 9 heavens tribulations. Ming smiled and said, "This time, I won't use the Great Calamity technique to resolve the heavenly tribulation. I'll personally experience the power of the lightning tribulation." Bang bang bang! In the 9 tribulations cloud, lightning bolts directly struck out. These lightning bolts were like incomparably thick lightning pillars. They were like lightning and winding, as if space was about to be split apart. The bolts of lightning struck Ming's body. Powerful lightning flashed, and a dazzling white light appeared. Ming's figure was drowned by the lightning. Lightning struck! Ha ha ha! In the lightning, Ming roared with laughter. The dharmic powers around his body circulated, and the strength of his body had already reached an extremely terrifying level. This was because he had the chaos sacred body. Is this the power of a 9 heavens tribulation? Too weak. Too weak. Too weak. It can't injure me at all. Chaos fist. Ming's gaze was calm. He took a stance and squatted slightly. His current posture was like a horse stance. His hands clenched into fists and placed them at his waist. The next moment, Ming threw a punch with his right hand, producing an incomparably terrifying punch. It even evolved into chaotic fog as an incomparably terrifying invisible fist force soared into the sky. This was the power of the chaos sacred body. Then, the majestic 9 heavens tribulation directly blasted an incomparably huge hole under Ming's punch. One punch. It was just a punch. The 9 heavens tribulation was blasted through. Ha ha ha! Ming laughed at the sky again. He opened his mouth and sucked, as if it was a terrifying black hole. It emitted an incomparable suction force and acted on the 9 heavens tribulation. In the blink of an eye, the entire 9 heavens tribulation transformed into a pitch-black river of light. It was swallowed by Ming and refined with his dharmic powers. When Ming sucked in a breath just now, it was as if the stars in the sky shifted, as if they were about to be swallowed by him. Such a scene was like seeing the river of stars collapsing and getting swept away with a wave of his hand. He was completely like a mighty immortal god. It was too powerful. Ming did not know what level his strength had reached. He only felt that if he completely let loose, he could probably destroy more than half of the great desolate world. It was so powerful. The 9th heaven and earth baptism descended. Ming sat cross-legged in the void and circulated the first volume of the Chaos Great Dao scripture. He absorbed the energy and Dao runes of the heaven and earth baptism and refined and absorbed a large number of immortal crystals. Half a day later, Ming's entire body shook. His cultivation level had broken through. He broke through from the 8th level Tribulation Transcendence Realm to the 9th level Tribulation Transcendence Realm and reached the final level of the Tribulation Transcendence Realm. 9 baptisms, 9 transformations, 9 sublimations. Ming had reached a limit and was about to touch the ceiling of the lower realm. He was almost at the limit. It was not over yet. Half a day later, Ming completely consolidated his cultivation. His eyes flashed as he opened his inventory and took out the last rank 9 Heavenly Tribulation Golden Core. In his palm, there was a thumb-sized golden pill. It was round and shiny with golden light. It could even evolve into various unbelievable phenomena. It was as if there were 9 lifelike 9-clawed golden dragons dancing around the pill. Item: Rank 9 Heavenly Tribulation Golden Core. Introduction: a special pill produced by the large game dungeon, 9 Heavens Tribulation Realm. It is also called the Rank 9 Golden Core and the 9-9 Creation Golden Core. It contains the boundless creation power of heaven and earth. In myths and legends, consuming the Rank 9 Golden Core could allow one to instantly become an immortal. It could directly increase one's cultivation level. After consuming and refining it, it could directly increase to the limit of the 9th level Tribulation Transcendence Realm. Moreover, it could summon the 9-9 Heavenly Tribulation. Rank 9 Golden Core, immediately becoming an immortal. Ming smiled. Is this the Rank 9 Golden Core in Grand Supreme Lord's Alchemy Furnace? Then, Ming consumed the Rank 9 Heavenly Tribulation Golden Core and swallowed it into his stomach. He then circulated the first volume of the Chaos Great Dao scripture. In his dantian, the Chaos True Body emitted a dazzling light. Great Dao True marks spread out and contained the power of the Dao of heaven and earth. The medicinal effect of the Rank 9 Heavenly Tribulation Golden Core melted in his body, as if a golden sun had appeared. It contained an extremely majestic power of creation. The effect of the Rank 9 Heavenly Tribulation Golden Core was much stronger than other golden cores. Therefore, Ming used a full 3 days to completely refine and absorb the Rank 9 Heavenly Tribulation Golden Core. Ming's body shook. His aura had completely stabilized. He had already reached the limit of the 9th level Tribulation Transcendence Realm. Heaven and earth felt it. Under the effect of the Rank 9 Heavenly Tribulation Golden Core, Ming sensed that his 9-9 Heavenly Tribulation was about to descend. He woke up from his cultivation and opened his eyes. He looked up at the vast sky. The next moment, the entire sky darkened, and it was extremely oppressive. It was as if heaven was about to collapse, and the purple-black tribulation clouds began to gather. 9-9 Heavenly Tribulation. Ming's expression was calm. You came quite quickly. He stood up and faced the first tribulation of the 9-9 Heavenly Tribulation, Lightning Tribulation. Ming had long seen black flame and little calamity transcend the 9-9 Heavenly Tribulation. He naturally had a rough understanding of the 9-9 Heavenly Tribulation. Me. Supreme Tribulation. This is the Supreme Tribulation. Gasp. He's actually about to undergo the Supreme Tribulation. He crossed the 9 heavens tribulation and reached the limit of the 9 extremities. He's about to undergo the Supreme Tribulation now. This is too fast. It's only been half a month. I. The living beings present exclaimed again. The 5 supremacies of the mystic heaven state could not calm down. As long as he passes the 9th level of the Supreme Tribulation, he will step into the Supreme Realm. With his strength, he will probably be an invincible existence in the Supreme Realm. That's right. We will personally witness the birth of a great invincible Supreme Being. I. The 5 supremacies looked at each other and saw the shock in each other's eyes. They sighed. In the blink of an eye, the first tribulation of the 9-9 Heavenly Tribulation, Lightning Tribulation, had already been nurtured. There were a total of 81 layers of tribulation clouds. They were vast and mighty, like the world of the lightning celestial palace. In the 81 layers of tribulation clouds, lightning and flashes were no longer just like dragons and dragons. They even evolved into human figures. These human-shaped lightning bolts were all supremacies who had passed the 99 heavenly tribulations in the great desolate world. These supremacies' imprints were engraved in the great desolate world, and they transformed into human-shaped lightning with the power of heaven and earth. Every human-shaped lightning had invincible combat strength below the supreme realm. Attack! Qi Ming roared. His gaze was like lightning, and his fighting spirit was high. Although the first tribulation of the 99 heavenly tribulation, the lightning tribulation, did not give him any pressure, it was at least much stronger than the 9 heavens tribulation. He killed his way into the 81 layers of tribulation clouds. The power of the chaos sacred body erupted as he used the power of divine powers one after another. The fist mark was like a mountain. Dharmic powers surged and strength erupted. Huge holes were blasted open in the 81 layers of the tribulation clouds. The human-shaped lightning bolts attacked, but they were shattered by Qi Ming's punches. No human-shaped lightning could receive Qi Ming's punch head-on. Invincible. This was invincibility. Qi Ming let out a long roar that shook the heavens and the earth. He used the supreme force of the divine power, subduing dragons and tigers. Coupled with the power of the chaos sacred body, he directly defeated the first tribulation of the 99 heavenly tribulation, lightning tribulation. A huge explosion sounded. Qi Ming had destroyed the first tribulation of the 99 heavenly tribulation, lightning tribulation. Although there was not much change under the tempering of the lightning, he still felt that his dharmic powers had become even more complete and transparent, obtaining growth in the process. Half a day later, Qi Ming felt an invisible and formless heaven and earth power descend. It passed through his body in an unbelievable manner and acted on his soul. Somehow, Qi Ming's entire body shook. In the depths of his mind, he felt his soul fall into a pitch-black world. When Qi Ming returned to his senses, he discovered that he had fallen into a strange calamity space. To be precise, Qi Ming's soul was trapped in this pitch-black calamity space. This is the second tribulation of the 99 heavenly tribulation, soul tribulation. Qi Ming reacted, so, the way the soul tribulation manifests is to pull the soul of the person undergoing the tribulation into a calamity space to undergo the tribulation. Not long after, in this tribulation space, incomparably dense invisible tribulation Qi appeared. This invisible tribulation Qi was specially targeted at the soul. It was called soul tribulation Qi, and it was to obliterate and refine the soul of the person undergoing the tribulation. Purity golden body. With a thought, Qi Ming circulated his divine power spell technique. A faint golden light appeared on the surface of Qi Ming's soul, completely immune to the soul tribulation Qi in the calamity space. Chapter 252 Heaven and Earth Great Dao Mental Demon. Qi Ming quickly felt that the situation was amiss. Although the purity golden body could block the soul tribulation Qi in the tribulation space, it prevented his soul from being injured by it. If one wanted to transcend the second tribulation of the 99 heavenly tribulation, the soul tribulation, it was not enough to withstand the soul tribulation Qi. Instead, one's soul had to take the initiative to withstand the soul tribulation Qi and use it to temper one's soul, making it perfect. Qi Ming understood and took a deep breath. Of course, he was currently in the state of his soul and could not breathe air. It was only a description. With a thought, Qi Ming removed the purity golden body, and the golden light disappeared. In the blink of an eye, strands of soul tribulation Qi acted on Qi Ming's soul. The wisps were like incomparably sharp special blades that cut into Qi Ming's soul again and again. Pain. Extreme pain. Qi Ming gasped. Of course, he could not gasp in his soul state. This was only a description. The 99 heavenly tribulation was indeed extraordinary. The second tribulation, the soul tribulation, was even more impossible to resist. One had to withstand the soul tribulation Qi head-on in order to complete the transformation and tempering. Under such circumstances, Qi Ming had to withstand the intense pain of his soul being cut by a saber. Moreover, he had to circulate his cultivation method to maintain the strength of his soul and maintain its stability. If Qi Ming's mind was unstable and he could not withstand the intense pain of his soul being cut, he would not be able to maintain the power of his soul or stabilize it. At that time, his soul would dissipate. Qi Ming could only resist it head-on. All kinds of divine powers and methods were useless. Time passed. In the pitch-black calamity space, it was as if he had lost the concept of time. Every wisp of soul tribulation chi that passed through Qi Ming's soul would obliterate the corresponding soul power in his soul, but it would also temper his soul. Fortunately, Qi Ming's soul was extremely robust. Coupled with the fact that Qi Ming had the Chaos Sacred Body and had cultivated the first volume of the Chaos Great Dao scripture, his soul had also obtained the transformation of the Heaven and Earth Great Dao. Although the feeling of his soul being cut was indeed painful and unbearable, Qi Ming still gritted his teeth and endured it. After experiencing such pain, Qi Ming's temperament and willpower had increased greatly. Finally, Qi Ming's soul had completed a complete tempering and reached a perfect level. His soul had almost evolved into a physical state. Break! Qi Ming shouted and erupted with the power of his soul. Vast soul power swept out like a storm and drowned the entire soul tribulation chi in the calamity space. Crack! Crack! Countless cracks appeared in the calamity space. There was a loud sound as the entire calamity space was destroyed by Qi Ming. His soul returned to his body. Qi Ming opened his eyes. He had returned to normal and had successfully passed the second tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, soul tribulation. His soul had completed a perfect transformation. He sensed the change in his body and the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. I've already passed the lightning tribulation and soul tribulation. Next should be the true spirit tribulation. Qi Ming only used half a day to transcend the soul tribulation. This speed far exceeded Black Flame and Little Calamity, causing the supremacies present to be incomparably shocked. The supremacies present had already seen Qi Ming do many unbelievable things and were already a little immune to it, but they could not help but be shocked. Half a day later, the third tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, True Spirit Tribulation. True Spirit. It represented the highest consciousness and self-awareness of living beings. The True Spirit Tribulation was targeted at the spirit and consciousness of the Tribulation Transcendence realm. Moreover, it was a little similar to the Soul Tribulation. It was also a calamity that had descended imperceptibly. The True Spirit Tribulation silently descended. The invisible and formless heaven and earth tribulation power surged towards Qi Ming and passed through his body and soul to affect his true spirit. Qi Ming's consciousness and mind were slightly dazed. The scene changed as Qi Ming returned to his senses. He discovered that he had arrived at another calamity space. In this calamity space, there was another tribulation chi, called True Spirit Tribulation Chi. This True Spirit Tribulation Chi was specially targeted at the true spirit of the person undergoing the tribulation. It destroyed and refined the true spirit of the person undergoing the tribulation. If it could not withstand it, it would cause the true spirit to be obliterated and become a vegetable. At that time, it would be like dying. The True Spirit Tribulation Chi could not be nullified by using the Purity Golden Body either. He had to withstand the True Spirit Tribulation Chi head-on and allow the True Spirit to undergo tempering and tempering to reach a perfect level. Half a day later, Qi Ming passed the True Spirit Tribulation safely. His True Spirit had been tempered and refined, reaching a perfect level. Qi Ming's mind and consciousness completed the transformation. This way, Qi Ming took another step towards the Mahayana realm. Not bad. Qi Ming felt the changes in his body and was indeed very satisfied. Black Flame and Little Calamity had used 7 days to transcend the True Spirit Tribulation, while Qi Ming had only used half a day to transcend it. The difference was very obvious. Half a day later, the fourth tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, the Mental Demon Tribulation, had descended. Mental Demon Tribulation. Qi Ming pondered for a moment. His vision blurred, and his senses and vision were interfered with. Under the silent situation, Qi Ming's mental demon Tribulation descended. He directly fell into the illusion realm. Mental demons were born from the mind. As this was a tribulation nurtured by Qi Ming's mental demon. With the enhancement of the power of the heaven and earth tribulation, it completely erupted. This is. Qi Ming returned to his senses and was slightly stunned. The surrounding environment and scene made him feel familiar and unfamiliar because this was his office. That's right. In Qi Ming's current memories, he had fallen asleep in his office. He had just developed the AFK farming software last night and finished everything. Because he had been working overtime recently, he did not have much sleep. When he relaxed, he slept in the office. So Qi Ming smiled bitterly. Is the mystic world cultivation journey all a dream of mine? Now that I've woken up, I've returned to reality. If it's really a dream, then everything in the dream is too real. Qi Ming had forgotten that he was undergoing the fourth tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, the mental demon tribulation. He had fallen into the mental demon illusion domain, and some important memories were blocked. In the real world, Qi Ming stood in midair. He did not move and closed his eyes. An incomparably terrifying power of calamity spread out from his body. The extremely pitch-black mental demon Qi surged, producing black clouds that floated in the sky. They spread out continuously. In a short period of time, the demon cloud created by the mental demon tribulation actually enveloped the entire black-green plains. Moreover, it was spreading further as if there was no end to it. In the demonic clouds, it was as if there were sinister demonic shadows. The most terrifying thing was the Dao runes of the heaven and earth great Dao gathered and fused into the mental demon tribulation. Qi Ming's mental demon, the power of the heaven and earth tribulation, and the power of the heaven and earth great Dao. The three fused. The heaven and earth great Dao mental demon was born. This was Qi Ming's mental demon, the heaven and earth great Dao mental demon nurtured by him. The terror of this mental demon surpassed any mental demon tribulation. Qi Ming fell into the greatest danger in his life so far. This would be the hardest calamity for him to overcome. Qi Ming had to rely on himself to break through the heaven and earth great Dao mental demon and understand himself. He had to prove his true self and obtain relief to mend his mental state. What was Qi Ming's greatest mental demon? That was me. He was originally an ordinary person on earth. The so-called cultivation and immortal ascension were only myths and legends fabricated. They were all unreal. In the depths of Qi Ming's heart, he had some doubts about him transmigrating to the mystic world and using the AFK farming software to quickly grow to his current level. He felt that transmigration was impossible. What if all of this was fake? In the past, Qi Ming did not show it, nor did he show any such thoughts. However, this was the greatest mental demon hidden in the depths of his heart. Now, the mental demon tribulation descended. The heaven and earth great Dao mental demon was nurtured and completely exposed Qi Ming's true mental demon. Moreover, it constructed a true domain, causing Qi Ming to fall into the mental demon illusion domain. Qi Ming could not break through the mental demon illusion domain. His consciousness would completely sink into the domain. The heaven and earth great Dao mental demon would occupy Qi Ming's body and soul. At that time, Qi Ming would become the most terrifying great Dao mental demon in this world. This would be a calamity, an incomparable calamity that could sweep through the void universe. See. What is this mental demon tribulation? Gasp! Such terrifying demonic Qi, such terrifying demonic clouds, such terrifying demonic shadows. How can such a terrifying mental demon tribulation appear? What mental demon is this? I sense the power of the heaven and earth great Dao. Oh goodness! In the surroundings, countless living beings were shocked. Existences with insufficient cultivation levels and insufficient mental state looked at the demonic clouds in the sky, and their minds could not help but be tempted by various illusions. They immediately closed their eyes, their hearts trembling, and they did not dare to look any more. In fact, even the 5 supremacies of the mystic heaven state were affected by the power of this mental demon and almost fell into the mental demon illusion domain. The higher the cultivation level, the greater the effect. Chapter 253 Breaking the Mental Demon, Karma Tribulation. In the mental demon domain constructed by the heaven and earth great Dao mental demon, Ming heard a knocking sound outside the office, waking him from his thoughts. "Come in, boss." The door of the office was pushed open, and Yang Kun rushed in anxiously. "The AFK farming software has been developed. When is it going to enter the market?" Ming stood up. "There's no time to waste. Let's do it today. Go tell the marketing department and let everyone in the company be prepared." "Yes, I understand." Yang Kun quickly nodded and ran out of the office. So, Ming walked to the window and looked at the scene outside. The street was filled with cars, pedestrians, electric cars, and bicycles. He looked around. There were tall buildings everywhere. This was a modern city. Was it really all my dream? Ming fell into deep thought. At this moment, he saw a familiar figure standing downstairs and waving at him. It was Ming's girlfriend, Lin Xiaoqiu. Lin Xiaoqiu and Ming had confirmed their relationship as lovers in their first year of university. They had experienced many years of love until today. Ming started a business and created his own company. He successfully developed the AFK farming software and invested it in the market. As long as he succeeded, Ming could be considered a true successful person. The two had been in love for many years. Ming and Lin Xiaoqiu had a deep relationship. Although the two of them were not married, they had done everything that needed to be done. Lin Xiaoqiu was also willing to marry Ming, but he was afraid that he could not give her a perfect marriage, so he did not dare to propose. "Xiaoqiu." A smile appeared on Ming's face. "Why are you here?" "I'll bring you breakfast." Because it was already winter in October, the weather was relatively cool. Lin Xiaoqiu wore a grey coat and was dignified and elegant. She held a thermal lunch box in her hand and placed it on Ming's desk. "Hurry up and eat. Don't you know how to take care of yourself?" Lin Xiaoqiu raised her jade-like chin slightly and glared at Ming with her eyes that seemed to be flickering with the light of the stars. Her fair swan neck stretched out from the light grey turtleneck sweater in a graceful manner. It was wrapped in soft and light cashmere. It was warm and comfortable while also revealing her snow-white skin. It was as exquisite as porcelain and made one's imagination run wild. Ming smiled. He opened the thermal lunch box. In it were the dumplings with pork and cabbage fillings that he liked to eat. After eating a few, a familiar taste blossomed in his taste buds. His expression froze. The taste of the dumplings was no longer the same. Or rather, the taste of this dumpling was like what Ming thought it would taste like. After more than 2,000 years, what did the dumplings made by Lin Xiaoqiu taste like? Ming only had a blurry memory. The taste of this dumpling was also very vague. In an instant, huge waves surged in Ming's mind. Those important memories that had been blocked were all revived at this moment. He completely understood the situation. It was such a small flaw, but Ming saw through the mental demon illusion domain. "Xiaoqiu." Ming returned to his senses and slowly put down the chopsticks in his hand. He walked in front of Lin Xiaoqiu and raised his right hand. His palm gently touched Lin Xiaoqiu's face as he looked at her beautiful eyes with deep love and a slightly painful apology. "To be able to see you again." Ming took a deep breath and said in a strange tone, "How nice." Lin Xiaoqiu's exquisite face blushed slightly. "It's only been 2 days. Isn't it because you're busy with your AFK farming software every day?" "That's right." Ming lowered his hand. "It's all my fault. Why did I have to specially research the AFK farming software? Because of this software, my life has completely changed. Sorry, Xiaoqiu. Although I know that you're not the real Xiaoqiu, I still want to apologize to you." I'm not a good man. I'm the most irresponsible trash in the world. You've clearly followed me for so many years. You clearly don't care about anything else. You're only willing to be with me, but I've never understood your true feelings. I only want to succeed. I want to give you a marriage that makes everyone envious of perfection, but I've already unknowingly ignored your feelings. Sorry. Sorry. Because of the AFK farming software, I've even left my original world. There's a high chance that we won't meet again. Forgive me, Xiao. Ming closed his eyes slightly. In the depths of his mind, various memories of Earth surfaced. Although he had always been avoiding it, this memory would always be in the deepest part of his mind. Because of the Heaven and Earth Great Dao mental demon, he faced the mental demon deep in his mind. A tear slowly rolled down from the corner of Ming's eye. Crack! Crack! The next moment, around Ming, cracks appeared in the space as the surrounding environment gradually became blurry. Everything gradually collapsed, and the entire mental demon domain dissipated. Xiao. Ming opened his eyes and watched as Lin Xiao's figure gradually faded. She smiled and waved goodbye to him. Then, in front of Ming, his parents appeared, as well as his friends and familiar friends. They smiled and bid farewell to him. They all disappeared. A rumble sounded in his ears. The mental demon domain completely shattered. Siro. In the surroundings, Ming arrived in a lonely world. In this space, the Heaven and Earth Great Dao mental demon appeared. He stood in front of Ming. He was dressed in black and had surging demonic qi. His appearance was identical to Ming. The Heaven and Earth Great Dao mental demon looked straight at Ming and screamed, "You deserve to die." Noisy. Ming raised his hand. In his palm, Dharmic powers gathered and he used the divine power, 5 lightning control. Lightning flashed and transformed into a terrifying bolt of lightning that directly struck the Heaven and Earth Great Dao mental demon. There was a loud sound. Under the 5-blow thunderstruck, the Heaven and Earth Great Dao mental demon directly turned to ashes. The Heaven and Earth Great Dao runes contained in it were all absorbed and comprehended by Ming. He clearly obtained an improvement. Ming's victory over the Heaven and Earth Great Dao mental demon allowed him to understand himself and attain his true self. He obtained freedom and completely patched up the flaws in his mental state. Ming's consciousness returned. He opened his eyes and the demonic qi around him quickly dissipated. The demonic clouds that enveloped the entire black-green plains instantly disappeared, and the demonic shadow dissipated. Ming's mind was calm and had already reached a perfection level. He pondered, "I didn't expect that my mental demon Tribulation would actually nurture the Heaven and Earth Great Dao mental demon. I also didn't expect that the reason why I saw through the mental demon domain was actually because of an ordinary dumpling. Xiao, 2000 years have passed. I'm afraid you've already. Mortals only lived for 100 years. After more than 2000 years, she would probably have died of old age." He sighed. Ming calmed his mind. He has already transcended the mental demon Tribulation. The demonic clouds dissipated, the demonic shadow disappeared, and the demonic qi dissipated. He has indeed transcended the mental demon Tribulation. I thought that he would not be able to overcome such a terrifying mental demon Tribulation. If he can't overcome it and becomes a supreme demon, it will be an incomparably terrifying calamity. It's too terrifying. I. The supremacies of the mystic heaven state heaved a sigh of relief. Half a day later, the 5th tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, the karmic tribulation has descended. Ming's merit and negative karma appeared and offset each other, forming a glass-like hellfire that descended and burned fiercely, enveloping his entire body. He sat cross-legged and circulated his dharmic power's divine power to resist the burning of the karmic flames. Under the burning of the karmic flames, his mind became more and more mellow, and all kinds of karmic powers dissipated. Half a day later, the karmic flames were all extinguished. Ming opened his eyes and stood up. He had already transcended the fifth tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, karmic tribulation. The karmic tribulation was the easiest tribulation to overcome. Another half a day passed. The sixth tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, the curse tribulation descended. Boundless curse power appeared, forming a terrifying curse. All kinds of curses sounded in Qi Ming's ears. The power of the curse spread and enveloped his entire body. Nailhead 7 Arrows Book. With a thought, Qi Ming took out the Nailhead 7 Arrows book and released the power of this treasure to absorb the power of the curse tribulation. The Nailhead 7 Arrows book had taken another step forward. Speaking of which, Qi Ming had refined this Dharma treasure and had never had the chance to use it. This way, he had also transcended the sixth tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, curse tribulation. Next, it was the seventh tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, longevity tribulation, and the eighth tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, heaven and earth tribulation. Although the commotion of these two tribulations was huge and their power was not small, they were not much of a threat to Qi Ming. Qi Ming easily transcended the seventh tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, longevity tribulation, and the eighth tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, heaven and earth tribulation. Qi Ming transcended both tribulations with his dharmic powers and divine powers and easily blocked the longevity tribulation and heaven and earth tribulation. This way, Qi Ming sat cross-legged. He had reached a state of perfection. He had already passed the 8 trials of the 9 heavenly tribulation. There was only one final tribulation left. In other words, the 9th tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, karma tribulation. Time passed. A day later, Qi Ming completely stabilized his body and consolidated his strength. In the unseen world, he sensed the descent of karma as a vast karma aura enveloped him. This karma aura was extremely terrifying and dense. Qi Ming owed the karma of an entire world. Chapter 254 World Consciousness of the Great Desolate World. Qi Ming was already plagued by karma. There was only one last karma tribulation left from the 9 heavenly tribulation. He closed his eyes and circulated his cultivation method. His dharmic powers circulated throughout his body, and he indeed felt the dense karma aura on his body. The karma aura was invisible and intangible, as if it did not exist, but it was real. It was between reality and illusion, and it was impossible to erase, shake, or interfere. Everything in the world had to exist for a reason. All methods in the world were born or destroyed according to the principle of karma. If Qi Ming could not repay the karma of the mystic world consciousness, under the influence of karma, the karma aura would completely erupt and obliterate him into ashes. If it was only ordinary karma, Qi Ming could still rely on his divine powers and dharmic powers to forcefully block the karma. However, the karma of a world was too huge, so he could not rely on his divine powers and dharmic powers to forcefully block the karma that erupted. If Qi Ming wanted to transcend the karma tribulation, he had to return to the mystic world and have a battle with the origin immortal king to repay the karma of the mystic world consciousness. Only then could he transcend the karma tribulation. Qi Ming's aura fluctuation calmed down, and the 9 heavenly tribulation completely calmed down. However, he did not transcend the karma tribulation. He was still bound by karma. He didn't transcend the supreme karma tribulation. How can that be? How can he not be able to transcend the supreme karma tribulation? What exactly happened? In the surroundings, many living beings were extremely puzzled. They could not understand that with the invincible power and invincible divine power that Qi Ming had displayed, he was actually unable to overcome the final calamity, karma tribulation. What kind of karma was it that Qi Ming could not cross? Shocking! Unbelievable! Immediately after, Qi Ming left the Black Azure Plains and used flight tracking. His figure disappeared into the void and disappeared. In the blink of an eye, he had already disappeared from the vision of the many living beings present. Black Flame, Little Calamity, and Black Lotus followed closely behind. They also quickly left the black-green plains, leaving behind the surrounding dumbfounded creatures. They left just like that. However, no living being dared to chase after him or ask anything. They only recalled the various scenes when Ming transcended the tribulation and sighed with reverence. The scene changed. Ming waved his right hand and used the divine power, shifting stars. The world seemed to have formed an inverted shield that completely concealed his heavenly secrets and himself. Black Lotus, Little Calamity, and Black Flame arrived beside him. Ming nodded, "We should return to the mystic world." "Yes." Black Flame and the others replied. With a thought, Ming made Black Flame and Little Calamity return to the spirit pet slots. Black Lotus was not a spirit pet. She was a corpse puppet refined by him, so she could not enter the spirit pet slot. World Gate. Ming circulated the dharmic powers in his body and surged into the avatar of the space-time treasure, World Gate, as it surged with light. Crack! Crack! Ming sensed that the avatar of the space-time treasure, World Gate, was obstructed by a mighty force. He frowned and circulated his divine power. He calculated with his fingers and immediately knew the reason. Ming's gaze was cold. "Great desolate world consciousness, you dare stop me from leaving." Black Flame and Little Calamity had broken through to the supreme realm in the great desolate world. Ming had even undergone tribulations in the great desolate world. Only the karma tribulation had not been passed. The world consciousness of the great desolate world did not allow Ming and the others to leave. The world consciousness of the great desolate world was already very perfect, like the heavenly Dao. It would stop the supremacies of the great desolate world from ascending to the upper world. Therefore, it would also stop Ming from leaving. It would not easily let any supremacy of the great desolate world leave. Unknowingly, there was a force of heaven and earth, and it was even the power of the heavenly Dao of the great desolate world. The power of world consciousness was used on the avatar of the space-time treasure, World Gate, causing the ability of the avatar to transmigrate into the world to be blocked, preventing it from creating a passageway. World Gate! Ming shouted softly and circulated his cultivation technique. The dharmic powers in his body surged and surged like an abyss. They were vast and endless as they crazily surged into the World Gate. At this moment, the entire great desolate world shook violently. The 3,000 provinces of the 9 heavens and 10 earths were all affected. In the world, spiritual chi shook, forming all kinds of phenomena and storms. This was because the world consciousness of the great desolate world was furious. "I feel the wrath of the heavenly Dao consciousness of the great desolate world. What's going on? Could it be that a supremacy wants to break through the seal of the great desolate world's heavenly Dao consciousness and ascend to the upper world? Or is there another reason?" In the 3,000 provinces of the 9 heavens and 10 earths, supremacies appeared one after another. They circulated their divine powers and observed the various phenomena and storms in the world. They used divine powers and spells to deduce the truth. They could not deduce anything, nor could they know anything. They could only deduce a fog. Some supreme beings did not believe in this and insisted on forcefully deducing. In the end, they suffered a backlash and spat out blood. The supremacies looked at the various phenomena and storms in the world, as well as the furious heavenly Dao consciousness of the great desolate world, and they were all confused. Buzz! 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 Ming used his majestic dharmic powers to unleash the power of the space-time treasure, World Gate's avatar, and resist the world consciousness of the great desolate world. At this moment, an incomparably huge door appeared in the entire great desolate world, evolving a boundless phenomenon that reached the heavens and the earth. An incomparably vast door suppressed more than half of the great desolate world. It was obvious. This incomparably huge boundless door and such a vast and mighty phenomenon of heaven and earth was the external manifestation of the space-time treasure, World Gate. Crack! Crack! Not long after, the world consciousness of the great desolate world displayed its might again. It mobilized the power of the great desolate world and brewed the divine lightning of destruction. The purple gold lightning constantly blasted on the incomparably huge door in the world. This incomparably huge door emitted a chaotic fog of light that enveloped his entire body, blocking all the destructive lightning. Ridiculous. Qi Ming's gaze was cold. He could already feel a majestic consciousness staring at him. This majestic consciousness was the world consciousness of the great desolate world, but it did not manifest itself. The world consciousness of the great desolate world, do you think you can trap me in your world? Dream on! Roar! Roar! The next moment, in the endless horizon, the destruction divine lightning gathered and contained incomparable power. Dao runes circulated and transformed into incomparably terrifying purple gold human-shaped lightning. These human-shaped lightning were all formed by the world consciousness of the great desolate world. They used the power of the world with the help of the Supreme Seal. Every single one of these violet gold human-shaped lightning possessed combat strength comparable to a supremacy. 5 Lightning Control. Buzz. Qi Ming's gaze was cold. He flew into the sky and killed his way into the purple gold human-shaped lightning, letting out long roars. Attack! Bang bang bang! Qi Ming's palm landed, and the 5 lightning bolts evolved. He used the 5 lightning bolts in his palm to resist the destruction divine lightning. The power that erupted destroyed the purple gold human-shaped lightning bolts one after another. Continue. Qi Ming's fighting spirit was high. He was not afraid at all. The power of the chaos sacred body erupted. Chaos light fog surrounded his body as he threw punch after punch. Every punch could shatter a purple gold human-shaped lightning bolt. These purple gold human-shaped lightning bolts possessed combat strength comparable to a supremacy, but they were so weak in Qi Ming's hands that he could destroy them with a single punch. Great desolate world consciousness! Qi Ming shouted, "Is this your power?" At this moment, in the great desolate world, in the 3,000 provinces of the 9 heavens and 10 earths, the scene of Qi Ming resisting the purple gold human-shaped lightning and berating the world consciousness of the great desolate world was reflected in the eyes of the supremacies. He's fighting against the heavenly Dao consciousness. So powerful! Too powerful! The power of the destruction divine lightning is enough to destroy existences at the supreme realm. Even those purple gold human-shaped lightning bolts possess combat strength comparable to the supreme realm. However, the destruction divine lightning can't injure him. The purple gold human-shaped lightning can't block his punch. Gasp! He's simply invincible. It's him. It's him. It's him again. He's the source of the various phenomena in the great desolate world during this period of time. He actually resisted the great desolate world's heavenly Dao consciousness alone. The supremacies were completely shocked. Bean soldiers! Qi Ming waved his hand and scattered beans into 129,600 Dao soldiers. The realm of each Dao soldier was the same as Qi Ming's. Attack! Qi Ming shouted. The Dao soldier army charged over and fought the purple gold human-shaped lightning that filled the sky. At this moment, in the sky, an emotionless eye appeared. It stared at Qi Ming as endless pressure pressed down on him. Golden light circulated around Qi Ming's body. The power of the purity golden body erupted and blocked the pressure of the world consciousness, unable to affect him at all. This is the Eye of Heaven, also known as the Eye of Heavenly Dao. This is a manifestation of the heavenly Dao consciousness. He's going to be in danger. The grand desolate world's heavenly Dao consciousness is about to become serious. The supremacies could not help but hold their breaths. Chapter 255 Return to the Mystic World, the situation 1,000 years later. Eye of Heaven. Qi Ming's gaze was cold. He indeed felt the pressure. Back in the mystic world, the origin Immortal King had revealed the Hand of Heaven. The mystic world consciousness had revealed the Eye of Heaven. At that time, because the difference in realm was too great, coupled with the fact that 99% of his dharmic powers had been sucked away by the world gate, he was unable to resist. However, it was different this time. This time, not only had Qi Ming's cultivation level reached the limit of the 9th level Tribulation Transcendence Realm, but he had also transcended the first 8 calamities of the 9-9 Heavenly Tribulation. Only the final Karma Tribulation was left. Moreover, Qi Ming's current state was very good. His dharmic powers were extremely abundant. In the heavenly eye, there was a black and white color, as if there was a Taiji painting spinning. It locked onto Qi Ming and directly spread out the black and white heavenly tribulation light. Heaven Secrets Array. Qi Ming waved his hand and executed 3 lesser divine power techniques. They were the Mystic Gate Divination Technique, the 8 trigrams Yin-Yang Divine Power, and the 5 Elements Cycle Divine Power. The 3 lesser divine power techniques combined to form a vast Heaven Secrets Array. It was in the shape of an 8-sided diamond and transformed into the heavens and the earth, blocking the black and white tribulation light. An explosion sounded. The Heaven Secrets Array shattered, and the heavenly tribulation light was obliterated. Swish! The next moment, the Eye of Heaven directly blasted out a Heaven Eye light. It was grey in color and was no longer black and white. Its power was even stronger. Chaos Sacred Fist. Qi Ming roared and accumulated boundless power. He erupted the power of the Chaos Sacred Body completely. He threw out his fists at the same time and shattered space. Boom! Qi Ming's punch directly shattered the heavenly eye light. Attack! Wave! Qi Ming shouted and soared into the sky. He rushed out of the horizon and fled into the sky. With a wave of his hand, the Great Calamity Technique erupted. It transformed into a calamity black hole and enveloped the Eye of Heaven. Gasp! Hee. Not only did he block all the attacks of the Eye of Heaven, but he actually wanted to kill it. This, oh my heavens! Too terrifying! His strength is too terrifying. The supremacies of the vast wilderness world were extremely shocked. They were incomparably shocked. The next moment, the world consciousness of the great desolate world was furious and had a hint of fear. Beside the Eye of Heaven, a pair of black and yellow hands of heaven quickly stretched out. This pair of hands was endless and majestic. In the palm, it was as if there were stars being destroyed. All kinds of power evolved and attacked Qi Ming. Attack! Qi Ming roared and was not afraid at all. He activated the power of the Great Calamity Technique further. The calamity black hole expanded and enveloped the pair of hands. Continuous explosions sounded. Space shattered, and the heavens and the earth shook. The entire great desolate world shook violently, and the 3,000 provinces of the 9 heavens and 10 earths shook endlessly. Many prefectures that are closer to the battlefield have been destroyed. The supremacies quickly joined forces but could only barely withstand the aftershock of the battle and explosion, preventing this disaster from spreading further. The calamity black hole formed by Qi Ming's Great Calamity Technique shattered and disappeared. Even the heaven's hands was destroyed by Qi Ming. At this moment, the world consciousness of the great desolate world have the intention to retreat. The destruction divine lightning dissipated, and the various phenomena and tribulation Qi disappeared. The Eye of Heaven slowly disappeared. Qi Ming's strength was too strong. He had yet to truly reach the lower realm's cultivation ceiling realm, the Mahayana realm, but his combat strength was already invincible in the lower realm. Even the world consciousness of the great desolate world could not trap Qi Ming. In the blink of an eye, in an extremely short period of time, the world consciousness of the vast wilderness world retreated. It did not make things difficult for Qi Ming anymore. Instead, it took the initiative to send him off. Its attitude changed 180 degrees. Hee. Qi Ming sneered. He did not continue to find trouble with the world consciousness of the great desolate world. He converged his strength and dharmic powers, and his divine powers were completely hidden. He then mobilized the avatar of the space-time treasure, World Gate. This time, the avatar of the space-time treasure, World Gate successfully constructed the passageway to return to the mystic world. In front of Qi Ming, a 3-meter tall and 1-meter wide door appeared. Black Lotus. Qi Ming said, we should go. Yes. Black Lotus said. The door to the passageway opened, and the interior of the door was pitch black. Qi Ming had yet to step in when he already felt an extremely terrifying pressure. Huff. Qi Ming took a deep breath and calmed his mood. He restrained his aura and strength and used the divine power of the shifting stars to completely hide his aura. Then, Qi Ming grabbed Black Lotus's hand and slowly walked into the door. Their figures disappeared and the door to the passageway closed. Space fluctuated. The door slowly disappeared. Everything calmed down and space returned to normal. It was as if nothing had happened. The provinces around the battlefield were in chaos. The shattered continent and the tens of thousands of lives that had died clearly proved the truth of the matter. All the supremacies of the great desolate world fell into deep shock and could not calm down. This was the first time they had seen the heavenly Dao consciousness of the great desolate world retreat. Unbelievable! The heavenly Dao consciousness actually retreated. Could it be that the heavenly Dao consciousness has been defeated? This. Who is he? What's his background? Why is he so powerful? This is the first time I've seen the heavenly Dao consciousness retreat. Sniz! The supremacies exclaimed. In the great desolate world, Qi Ming left behind various legends and myths. It was also because of Qi Ming's success that the supremacies of the great desolate world once again raised their fighting spirit and confidence to resist the great desolate world's heavenly Dao consciousness. In other words, in the years after Qi Ming left the great desolate world, there were supremacies who resisted the heavenly Dao consciousness of the great desolate world. In fact, these supreme beings joined forces and formulated plans one after another. After 9 meeting origins, 129,600 years passed. 3 invincible supremacies, Devil Lord, Divine Lord, and Demon Lord, joined forces with all the supremacies of the 3,000 provinces of the 9 heavens and 10 earths to execute the heaven slaughter plan. Finally, this heaven slaughter plan had succeeded. The 9 heavens and 10 earths of the great desolate world were shattered. Supremacies died one after another. In the battlefield, the Devil Lord, the Divine Lord, and the Demon Lord also died in battle in the end. The heavenly Dao consciousness of the great desolate world was completely destroyed, allowing the world consciousness to be reborn. At this point, the great desolate world entered a new era. Of course, everything happened after Qi Ming left the great desolate world. At this moment, Qi Ming entered the transmigration passageway, which was as strange as usual. This was because Qi Ming's cultivation had increased further. He could already understand many of the mysteries of the essence of space and time. Not long after, Qi Ming and Black Lotus arrived at the end of the passageway. A dazzling white light appeared, blocking their vision and senses as they flew out of the passageway. The dazzling white light disappeared. Qi Ming's vision and senses returned to normal. He walked out of the door. Behind him, there was a door that quickly closed and disappeared. Space returned to normal. Mystic world. Qi Ming looked around and sensed the familiar spiritual qi of heaven and earth and the familiar aura of the world. Moreover, the entire mystic world seemed to welcome Qi Ming back. The surrounding spiritual qi surrounded Qi Ming. The heaven and earth tribulation of the mystic world had already descended. The entire heaven and earth of the mystic world was filled with extremely chaotic killing intent. Tribulation airflow circulated, blood qi rushed into the sky, and karma surged. This is. Qi Ming calculated with his fingers and circulated his divine power to deduce. In his mind, various things that had happened in the mystic world for more than 1,000 years quickly appeared. He was currently in the north region. 900 years ago, celestial Venerable Ying broke through and became the only true dragon in the mystic world. His strength and cultivation reached the limit of the lower realm. Moreover, he used 100 years to unite all the demons in the 4 regions and rebuild the ancient demon court. Qi Ming pondered for a moment. Celestial Venerable Ying has good methods. 700 years ago, the devil race's supreme being, Wei Wuxian, revived and awakened all his memories. He entered seclusion for 100 years and cultivated the supreme devil scripture. Similarly, he used 100 years to unite all the devil sect and devil race in the 4 regions of the north, south, east, and west. Moreover, he married the lord of the otherworldly demons, Lan Tianyu, and established the supreme devil hall. 500 years ago, the supreme being of the god race, Xuelin, revived. She also awakened all her memories and cultivated the supreme god Dao scripture. She became the only true god of the mystic world and united all the gods in the 4 regions. Moreover, she entered the 9 heavens and controlled it to establish the heavenly kingdom. 300 years ago, the ghost race's supreme being, Lin Zhuyu, revived. He also awakened all his memories and entered the 9 nether. He cultivated the supreme 9 nether scripture and controlled the 9 nether to become the lord of the 9 nether. All the ghosts in the world belong to him. 100 years ago, the various sects of the human race joined forces, but the whereabouts of the human race's supreme being was unknown. Moreover, he had never been able to revive, causing the human race to be at a disadvantage. Facing the other races, the human race was suppressed to the point of being unable to raise their heads. Most importantly, the great calamity of heaven and earth has arrived. Under the influence of the tribulation chi, there are endless conflicts between the various races. However, because Celestial Venerable Ying and the others know the immortal race's plan and know that they have to join forces, there was not much conflict between the 5 races. Until 10 years ago, the immortals officially launched an attack. The 4 major heavenly gates have opened, and the immortal army has slaughtered their way into the 4 regions. Although the 5 races have joined forces, the strength of the humans is weak. They are in a passive state in this battle. Heaven Enlightenment Sect. With a thought, a hint of coldness appeared on Qi Ming's face. He took a step forward and flew away. His figure instantly disappeared from the spot. He rushed towards the Heaven Enlightenment Sect with Black Lotus following closely behind. Chapter 256 Immortal Race's Supreme Being, Yang Li. Qi Ming was currently in the northern region and was very far from the southern region. To rush from the north region to the southern region, he needed a lot of time. This almost crossed half the continent. When used, he could perform a spatial jump. With Qi Ming's current cultivation and strength, if he used traceless flight at full strength, it was enough to teleport to any position in the mystic world. In the southern region, Heaven Enlightenment Sect. There was a flash. Qi Ming's figure had already appeared from space. He stood in the sky and looked down at the entire Heaven Enlightenment Sect with a rather serious expression because it had already fallen into a chaotic battle. 3 days ago, the Immortal Army quietly descended outside the Heaven Enlightenment Sect. Without any warning, the descending Immortal Army directly attacked the Heaven Enlightenment Sect. Not only that, in only a day, the Heaven Enlightenment Sect's sect protection array was broken. Attack! Fight for the Heaven Enlightenment Sect! Immortals! I'll fight you to the death! On the battlefield of the Heaven Enlightenment Sect, the furious roars of many Heaven Enlightenment Sect disciples and elders sounded. Battle cries and roars sounded. In the sky, the grand elders of the Heaven Enlightenment Sect fought the immortal city lord of the immortal race. All kinds of energy roared and spells attacked each other. The battle was very intense and also very tragic. The demons reared in the mountain range of the Heaven Enlightenment Sect used this opportunity to crazily take revenge on the Heaven Enlightenment Sect. The entire ground shook. Space collapsed. Countless mountain ranges collapsed. Pu. Pu. Blood splattered. One after another, Heaven Enlightenment Sect disciples and elders died on the battlefield, turning into corpses. The scene was tragic. There were also immortals who were killed. The Immortal Army and the Heaven Enlightenment Sect had already fought for 3 days and 3 nights. The reinforcements from the Spring-Autumn Sect and the 10,000 Buddha Temple did not arrive because the immortals had long formulated a plan. Moreover, they had sent the corresponding Immortal army to block the reinforcements from the Spring-Autumn sect and the 10,000 Buddha temple. The Immortal army was determined to destroy the Heaven Enlightenment sect this time. In the battlefield of the Heaven Enlightenment sect, Qi Ming saw Lu Qinjian, Yuan Feng, Xiao Fan, Master Feng, Peak Master Miao, and Daoist Purple Firmament. He saw familiar faces and figures. They fell into a bitter battle. 1,000 years passed. Xiao Fan had already stepped into the Dao integration realm. Lu Qinjian had also reached the Dao integration realm. Only Yuan Feng was a little inferior. She was only at the early stage soul formation realm now. On the other side, Heaven Enlightenment Immortal Mountain. Fang Zhang, Pen Glai, Ying Zhou. In the depths of the forbidden areas of the three Immortal Mountains, an extremely terrifying aura was gradually awakening. It was filled with an extreme rotting aura that slowly spread. They were the three ancestors of the Heaven Enlightenment sect: Patriarch Heaven Secrets of the Fangzhong Immortal Mountains Forbidden Land, Patriarch Heavenly Nine of the Penglai Immortal Mountains Forbidden Land, and Patriarch Black Yellow of the Yingzhou Immortal Mountains Forbidden Land. They were all existences at the Mahayana realm and had reached the realm of the mystic world ceiling. They were awakening. Patriarch Heaven Secrets. Qi Ming heard a familiar voice. A figure flew over and the scene zoomed in. This figure was the Immortal race's Immortal King Linglong. Immortal King Linglong stood in the astral layer. He had his hands behind his back, and his gaze was proud and filled with disdain. You struggled at death's door and sealed yourself in the Forbidden Land, trying to find the opportunity to ascend. Unfortunately, you who sealed yourselves in the Forbidden Land can only live for a period of time. Blood light surged like a tidal wave. A figure walked out of the blood light that filled the sky. It was the Blood Venerable Immortal King. His gaze was cold and filled with killing intent. Today is the day the Heaven Enlightenment sect is destroyed. I've long heard that the Heaven Enlightenment sect is known as the leader of the southern region's righteous path. Then, another Immortal King of the Immortal race came out. There was a pitch-black fog that flowed endlessly, and it was very powerful. It was filled with the aura of hell, decay, death, and depravity. His entire body surged with an imposing aura. He was the Immortal race's Immortal King Nether River. But now it seems that it's only so-so. There are only 3 old fellows who are about to die. Impudent. In the forbidden area of the Yingzhou Immortal Mountain, Patriarch Black Yellow's furious roar sounded. He was the first to awaken. The black-yellow chi circulated, but it contained a rotting aura. A black-yellow mother chi cauldron flew out. Immortals. Patriarch Black Yellow berated, you dare to attack the Heaven Enlightenment sect. I'll let you die today. There was an explosion. The black-yellow mother chi cauldron smashed towards Immortal King Nether River. Ha ha ha. Immortal King Nether River laughed loudly, and his tone was filled with ridicule. How laughable. You can't even protect yourselves, and you want us to die. 4 swords of the Nether River. Clang. 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 4 sword cries sounded as 4 swords tore through the air. They were the intrinsic treasures of Immortal King Nether River. They were, the Sword of Hell, the Sword of Decay, the Sword of Death, and the Sword of Corruption. They were called the 4 swords of the Nether River. Clang! Clang! The 4 swords of the Nether River slashed out. In midair, they swelled up with the black-yellow Mother Chi cauldron. Sword Chi exploded, and the black-yellow light shattered to block the cauldron. A figure flew out of the Penglai Immortal Mountains Forbidden Land. With a wave of his right hand, the black-yellow Mother Chi cauldron flew over and floated above his right palm. This was a handsome young man. His eyes were like stars, and his aura was like a rainbow that suppressed the heavens and the earth. He wore a white robe and was peerlessly gorgeous, and his long hair was like a waterfall. He was Patriarch Black Yellow, one of the 3 ancestors of the Heaven Enlightenment sect. Immediately after, Patriarch Heavenly Nine walked out of the forbidden land of the Penglai Immortal Mountain. He was a square-faced middle-aged man. On his back was a pitch-black saber. Soon, Patriarch Heaven Secrets also walked out of the Forbidden Land with the Heaven Secrets compass in hand. He had the appearance of a white-haired elder. His eyes narrowed slightly, revealing only the slits. Ancestors. The 3 ancestors have appeared. On the battlefield of the Heaven Enlightenment sect, the elders and disciples looked over. The auras of the 3 immortal kings and the 3 ancestors of the Heaven Enlightenment sect clashed. Although they had not officially attacked, the auras of the 2 sides were already fighting master. Qi Ming's gaze landed on Patriarch Heaven Secrets. After taking a glance, he retracted his gaze and turned to look at another spot. His figure flashed and instantly teleported to the void layer. The next moment, Qi Ming's figure appeared in a spot on the void layer. In front of him stood 2 extremely familiar figures. They were the sect master of the Heaven Enlightenment sect, Yang Li, and his personal disciple, So King Ian. So King Ian's face was pale. She looked stunned, and her expression was filled with despair, as if she had lost all her will. She was clearly shocked by something. Qi Ming. Yang Li stood on the void layer and looked down at the battlefield of the Heaven Enlightenment sect. His expression was very complicated, as if he had fallen into his memories. Qi Ming's sudden appearance jolted him back to his senses, and a very surprised expression appeared on his face. "You're actually not dead. Senior Qi." So King Ian jolted. After she saw Qi Ming, her face recovered some vitality, but soon, her eyes revealed a terrified expression. "Run, run! Run! Silence!" Yang Li's gaze was cold. So King Ian immediately shut her mouth in fear. Sect Master Qi Ming took a deep breath and looked at Yang Li. He sized him up and said, "Actually, at this moment, I should call you the immortal race's supreme being." Yang Li was stunned for a moment, and his gaze was a little complicated. "Qi Ming, you're indeed worthy of being in existence that even the immortal ancestor values greatly. I haven't even said anything, but you seem to already know everything." "You're right." Yang Li sighed. 15 years ago, I transcended the karma tribulation and officially stepped into the Mahayana realm. It was also on the same day that my memories and true spirit completely recovered. Who would have expected that I would actually be the immortal race's supreme being? How laughable, how laughable. In this lifetime, I hate the immortal race to the core. Back then, I used my body to support the world. My true spirit did not die and was protected by the mystic world consciousness. I reincarnated and my true spirit revived. Only then did I know the reason and cause. Qi Ming, do you want to hear a story? Yang Li took a deep breath, and his expression became even more complicated. I don't want to hear it. Qi Ming shook his head and looked straight at Yang Li, because I already know what story you want to tell. It's about your background. I already know everything. Yang Li was stunned again as he roared with laughter. You actually know everything? Ha ha ha, you actually know everything. As expected of an existence that even the immortal race's immortal ancestor values greatly. So, you've already deduced everything and know everything, right? Yang Li asked. Even under the heaven and earth tribulation and the chaos of the heavenly secrets, you can still use the supreme divine power of the heavenly secrets to deduce the truth of everything. Yes. Qi Ming nodded. It doesn't matter if I'm the sect master of the Heaven Enlightenment sect or the immortal race's supreme being. Yang Li took a deep breath and looked straight at Qi Ming. He said in a deep voice, I'm myself. I'm Yang Li. Qi Ming, since you dare to come back, it means that you're already prepared. Come on. Yang Li said in a low voice, let me see your methods. Yang Li's background was actually quite complicated. Yang Li was half-immortal. The so-called half-immortal was a child born from the marriage of an immortal and human. Yang Li's father was the number 1 immortal king among the 108 immortal kings. That's right. It was this extremely ancient immortal king, the first immortal king. Yang Li's biological mother was a human from the central world and her cultivation level had reached the limit of the Dao integration realm. Yang Li's biological mother had an extremely special physique. It was called the Nine Yin Immortal Body. At that time, the first immortal king was cultivating a small divine power technique called the Nine Yin Divine Power. He needed nine yin immortal bodies as a furnace to master it. Yang Li's mother was targeted by the first immortal king. However, no one expected this. Under such circumstances, Yang Li's birth mother was a cauldron. She actually became pregnant and bore the descendant of the first immortal king. Yang Li's birth mother had given birth to him behind the backs of everyone and the immortals. Even the first immortal king did not know either. Before she died, she did everything she could to send Yang Li out of the central world. Chapter 257 The last 10% of the divine mountain source of the southern region. After Yang Li was sent out of the central world, he indeed experienced a few twists and turns and almost died. In the end, he was adopted by an outer elder of the Heaven Enlightenment sect. After Yang Li grew up, he displayed extraordinary talent and officially joined the Heaven Enlightenment sect. The outer elder who adopted Yang Li was only in the Golden Core realm. Coupled with the fact that this outer elder's lifespan was originally not much, after Yang Li completely grew up, he died because his lifespan was exhausted. Yang Li's growth had made the Heaven Enlightenment sect his true home. Before Yang Li's true spirit awakened, he had indeed spent a lot of effort to protect and strengthen the sect. Life was unpredictable, and fate played tricks on people. Who would have thought? The moment Yang Li broke through to the Mahayana realm, his true spirit actually awakened. Moreover, he was not a human supreme being but the immortal supreme being. This was really unexpected. After Yang Li's true spirit awakened, he was lost for a full 5 years. With his background in this life, he did not have a good impression of the immortals. Even if the first immortal king was his biological father, he only had hatred for him. True spirit awakening. The memories of the immortal supreme being occupied a huge place, but his background and memories in this life would still affect Yang Li. He had been lost for 5 years because of this. Until 10 years ago, the first immortal king found Yang Li and brought the decree of the immortal race's immortal ancestor. Yang Li could only accept this outcome and become the immortal clan's supreme being. Yang Li could only say that the supreme beings of the 4 races, the god, devil, demon, and ghost, had all revived. Although there were endless conflicts between the 5 races on the surface, in fact, they were only pretending to show the immortals and confuse them. The 5 races had already secretly joined forces. Therefore, 10 years ago, the immortals officially attacked and opened the 4 great heavenly gates. They officially sent out the immortal army and directly fought a protracted war with the 5 races. In addition, the last 10% of the divine mountain source of the southern region was actually So King Ian. Or rather, the last 10th of the divine mountain source was the creation wood divine tree. So King Ian was the reincarnation of the creation wood spirit. Therefore, she was the creation wood divine tree. It was the last 10th of the divine mountain of the southern region. The entire immortal race did not expect that the last 10th of the divine mountain source of the southern region would actually develop intelligence and reincarnate. This exceeded the expectations of all living beings. 3 days ago, the immortals made up their minds and formulated the corresponding plan. They sent out army after army of immortals to stop the reinforcements from supporting the Heaven Enlightenment sect and destroy it. Yang Li did not attack. From the beginning to the end, he had only been watching the battle. That was why he stood in the void layer and watched the Heaven Enlightenment sect battlefield. He could only choose not to help either. No matter what, So King Ian was Yang Li's personal disciple. Before Yang Li's true spirit revived, he had indeed nurtured her as his personal disciple. He did not know beforehand that So King Ian would actually be the last 10th of the divine mountain of the southern region. This was all a coincidence. It was as if everything had been predestined. After Yang Li's true spirit revived, he saw through So King Ian's essence. Therefore, he would take her away. In order to create the immortal world, she would definitely become a sacrifice. Yang Li told her everything. After learning the truth, she revealed such despair. The blow and impact she had received was indeed too great, and she could not accept it at the moment. The master she had always respected was actually the supreme being of the immortals. He was actually her enemy, and she would be used as a sacrifice to the master she respected. This was too sad. Senior brother. So King Ian revealed a look of despair. She looked at Qi Ming and said, "Run. Run. Master is the immortal supreme being. It's impossible for you to defeat him. Run. Master." So King Ian continued, "Let senior brother go. I'm willing to go with you and become a sacrifice. I beg you, let senior brother go." He. Yang Li smiled. With a wave of his right hand, the world-piercing sword appeared in his hand. The green sword was long and slender, and it was suffused with a green luster. "You underestimate this senior brother of yours. His strength has long exceeded your imagination. This senior brother of yours had infiltrated the immortal race's holy land, the myriad immortal mountain, and he even became the 109th immortal king of the immortal race. He's called the Chaos Immortal King. If not for the fact that he stole the treasure of the immortal ancestor and alarmed him, the entire immortal race would probably have been deceived by him until now." "What? This? So King Ian's beautiful eyes widened, and her face was filled with disbelief. She stared at Qi Ming in shock. She had never expected that he would actually do such an unbelievable thing. "You're surprised, right?" Yang Li said, "That's right, I'm also very surprised." Back then, Qi Ming was only at the peak of the soul formation realm, but he forcefully hid it and deceived all the immortal kings. What kind of method is this? Moreover, Qi Ming even fled from the hands of the immortal ancestor and transmigrated to another world. Since he dared to return now, it means that his strength has increased greatly and he has enough confidence to resist the immortal ancestor. Am I right? Yang Li looked straight at Qi Ming. "You're right." Qi Ming shrugged, "So, do you still want to fight me?" "Of course." Yang Li's gaze flashed, and his eyes were filled with intense battle intent. "To be honest, I really suspect that you're the human race's supreme being. However, I don't sense the aura of my kind on you, so you're not him. But you can do those unbelievable things. I'm really curious. How strong can you be? Come and fight." Yang Li's fighting spirit was high and he wanted to fight Qi Ming. The world-piercing sword in his hand slashed forward. The power erupted as he slashed out a dazzling sword chi. Clang! A green sword light also rushed out from in front of Qi Ming. It also used the world-piercing sword to escape. It was like a green dragon that blocked Yang Li's sword chi. "You have a world-piercing sword too?" Yang Li said. "That's right." Qi Ming replied. Clang! 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 Sword cries sounded in all directions. Yang Li held the world-piercing sword and directly attacked Qi Ming. Sword chi slashed down, containing extremely powerful might. His sword Dao had almost evolved to the limit of the lower realm. Endless sword chi spread out like a sword world. Very strong. Very strong. Chaos Green Lotus Sword Embryo, Sword Mountain, World-Piercing Sword. Qi Ming waved his right hand, and 3 intrinsic Dharma treasures appeared. He circulated the sword scripture, and the power of the Green Lotus Dao erupted and suppressed Yang Li, who also used the Green Lotus Dao, and the power of the divine powers and spells of the two sides offset each other. The 3 intrinsic treasures resisted Yang Li's world-piercing sword Dao. The two sides fought. At that moment, the battle was difficult to determine. The strength that Qi Ming had displayed now was actually not even a tenth of his true power. He had only used the Chaos Green Lotus Sword scripture to fight. In the void layer, Yang Li slashed out sword chi after sword chi. Every sword chi was transformed from a spell. Sword chi covered the sky and enveloped the surroundings, but it could not approach Qi Ming at all. So powerful. An incomparably shocked expression appeared on So King Ian's face, senior brother Qi strength is too strong. Master is at the Mahayana realm, and he's also the reincarnation of an immortal supreme being. Senior brother Qi is actually not at a disadvantage at all, and he's even fighting with ease. This is your strength. Qi Ming's gaze was calm. He was not in a hurry to attack. The three intrinsic Dharma treasures surrounded him and formed an airtight defense that blocked all of Yang Li's moves. If that's the case, I'm too disappointed. Although Qi Ming's cultivation level was only at the limit of the 9th level Tribulation Transcendence realm, he had already passed the first 8 trials of the 9 Heavenly Tribulation. Only the Karma Tribulation was left. Qi Ming was only half a step away from the Mahayana realm. Moreover, he comprehended and cultivated the Great Dao. He was a Dao cultivator and had even grasped great divine powers and various small divine techniques. His strength had completely surpassed the Mahayana realm. In the Great Desolate World, the supremacies of the Great Desolate World were existences at the Mahayana realm. When Qi Ming killed the purple-gold human-shaped lightning with combat strength comparable to a supreme, he truly erupted with his strength. With a punch, he could easily shatter a purple-gold human-shaped lightning. His combat strength was already off the charts. Lesser divine power. Yang Li's gaze was cold as he circulated his cultivation technique. His dharmic powers surged as the power of the Sword Dao augmented. Sword World Divine Power Technique. Slash. Yang Li let out a roar. This sword slashed down. Then, it evolved into a sword world. Yang Li had already cultivated this lesser divine power technique to the highest level of profundity and had already evolved into a divine power talisman. In an instant, a sword world was born and enveloped Qi Ming. Samadhi fire. Qi Ming opened his mouth and spat out flames. They surged out of his mouth and covered the sky. In the blink of an eye, they spread throughout the entire sword world and burned it to ashes. Go! Qi Ming stretched out his hand and pointed. The Samadhi fire transformed into fire phoenixes that bared their fangs and brandished their claws. They soared into the sky and pounced at Yang Li. What? Yang Li's gaze was shocked as he revealed a shocked expression. You actually destroyed my sword world so easily. You're actually so powerful. Qi Ming's gaze was indifferent as he said, even if your true spirit awakens and you possess the power of the immortal race's supreme being, you're not my match. Also Qi Ming continued, the truth of this world is a little more complicated than you imagine. In my eyes, be it the immortals, humans, or the entire mystic world's races, they are only pitiful worms deceived by the greatest lie. Chapter 258 Believe me or not. Qi Ming, what are you trying to say? Yang Li's gaze was cold. He stood in front of Qi Ming and quickly slashed out a sword qi that was like a river of stars. The surrounding space was torn apart by this sword qi. He used the power of the sword Dao to destroy the fire phoenix formed by Qi Ming's Samadhi fire. He pointed his sword at Qi Ming and shouted, also, I don't understand what you're saying at all. Qi Ming said indifferently, do you really think that your immortal race can really create an immortal world that's comparable to the upper world? Don't you think that this is completely impossible and unrealistic? Enough! Yang Li berated with a gloomy tone, Qi Ming, you don't know how mighty the immortal race's immortal ancestor is. Although I'm the supreme being of the immortal race, I'm only a junior in front of him. In order to create an immortal world that's comparable to the upper world, our immortal race has set up several calamities and done countless things. We've made sufficient preparations. Under the lead of the immortal ancestor, we will definitely succeed. Hee hee. Qi Ming smiled disdainfully, unfortunately, that immortal ancestor of your immortal race is actually long dead. His body has long been taken over. What did you say? Yang Li's gaze was cold, you're simply talking nonsense. Supreme Sword Technique. Accompanied by a world-shaking sword cry, Yang Li let out a roar and circulated his cultivation technique. His dharmic powers surged as 129,600 magic swords appeared around him. First move. Yang Li shouted, Sword Qi Star River. This sword slashed down. Under Yang Li's sword, a resplendent sword Qi river formed. It was majestic and endless as if it pierced through the world and slashed at Qi Ming. Reversing wind. Qi Ming raised his right hand and used the divine power, reversing wind. Qi Ming could already truly unleash the power of this divine power. The power of this divine power was enough to reverse the development of things. Of course, this was not time reversal, but it also involved the domain and power of time. Lick. In Qi Ming's palm, an invisible force spread out, forming an invisible screen of light. Yang Li's sword Qi and Galaxy attacked, but they were all blocked by this screen of light. The power of the sword Qi Star River was completely dissolved, turning into spiritual light that filled the sky. It could not shake Qi Ming at all and was completely dissolved. Yang Li's pupils constricted, and shock appeared on his face again. This what divine power method is this? It can actually completely resolve my sword Qi River. Qi Ming continued, Yang Li, with your status, you are indeed qualified to know the truth. In fact, your immortal ancestor has long died. What are you talking about? A shocked expression appeared on Yang Li's face. This is impossible. What do you mean? You don't have to be so surprised. Qi Ming shrugged. When I learned the truth of this matter, I was actually more surprised than you. Back then, after the immortal ancestor discovered the immortal king's grotto heaven, he entered it and found the space-time treasure, World Gate. It was precisely because the immortal ancestor wanted to refine the space-time treasure, World Gate, that he woke up the consciousness of the origin immortal king, who was sleeping inside the space-time treasure, the World Gate. That's the origin immortal king. He fell from the upper world into the void universe sea. His immortal body evolved into the entire mystic world. He is such a magnificent existence. Even if the origin immortal king is extremely weak, even if he only has his consciousness left, it's not something the immortal race's immortal ancestor can resist. The awakened origin immortal king has occupied the body of the immortal race's immortal ancestor and obliterated his consciousness. Therefore, origin immortal king occupied the body and was revived as your immortal ancestor. He walked through the mystic world and set up shocking schemes one after another and even committed crimes one after another. The origin immortal king has deceived the entire world. Create an immortal world. How laughable! This is the greatest lie spread by the origin immortal king. It's impossible for him to create the immortal world. He doesn't have such an ability. Origin immortal king. Yang Li was stunned by Qi Ming's words. He was stunned on the spot and an unbelievable expression appeared on his face. He really could not believe such words. This was unbelievable. The origin immortal king was actually still alive? How was this possible? Your immortal race has been completely deceived by the origin immortal king. Qi Ming said indifferently, from the ancient era until now, your immortal race has always been kept in the dark by the origin immortal king. Your immortal race has always been working for the origin immortal king. Also, everything the origin immortal king did was not for the sake of creating the immortal world at all. He was just trying to regain his strength. More importantly, he's prepared to devour the entire mystic world and find his original strength. He even wants to take another step forward. That's why he created the Immortal King's Dharma method. He used your immortals to travel to other worlds and devour and rob the source of the other worlds. It was to enrich himself. From the beginning to the end, you immortals were used by him. At the same time, you are his sacrifice. I don't believe it. Yang Li's gaze was filled with shock as he shook his head. The news that Qi Ming had said was too shocking. This completely overturned Yang Li's worldview. It was too difficult to accept. Qi Ming laughed softly, "It doesn't matter if you don't believe me or not. What I said is the truth. The immortal race's immortal ancestor has long died. What you're loyal to now is only the origin immortal king who has always been using you. That's why. Be it your immortal race, human race, or even the entire mystic world, in my eyes, you are all pitiful worms who don't know anything. You're too pathetic. Ming shook his head and continued, the reason why I returned to the mystic world was because of the 9th tribulation of the 9 heavenly tribulation, karma tribulation. Back then, I was targeted by the origin immortal king. It was because of the mystic world consciousness that I could cross the world and escape. This is a karma debt. I need to repay it. Also, back then, the origin immortal king attacked me, so I naturally cannot pretend that nothing had happened. Origin immortal king. Yang Li gradually calmed down. He slowly lowered the world-piercing sword in his hand. Ming, is everything you said true? Of course. Ming nodded. Yang Li took a deep breath, I believe you. Ming's gaze was a little surprised. He sized up Yang Li a few times, you believed it so quickly? Didn't you still not believe it earlier? Because you don't have to lie to me, right? Yang Li smiled bitterly, in the battle just now, I personally experienced your unfathomable strength. From the beginning to the end, you were not serious at all. It's impossible for me to be your match. In fact, if you're willing, you can take my life at any time. Under such circumstances, there's no need to lie to me. Ha ha ha! Ming laughed a few times. You're indeed worthy of being the sect master of the Heaven Enlightenment sect and the supreme being of the immortal race. You're not too stupid. Now that you know the truth, what do you plan to do? Of course, we'll join forces with the 6 races to resist the origin immortal king. Yang Li said in a low voice, if this is all the plot of the origin immortal king, it's already the last moment. We can only risk our lives. Also, there's also another important thing. The last 10% of the divine mountain origin of the 4 regions must not fall into the hands of the origin immortal king. Otherwise, we will be completely finished. In fact, 500 years ago, the immortals had already taken away the last 10th of the divine mountain origin of the eastern region, the eastern mountain seal. 300 years ago, the immortals destroyed the western region's glazed 7 treasures sect and took away the last 10th of the divine mountain origin of the western region, the glazed 7 pagoda. 100 years ago, the immortals found the last 10th of the divine mountain origin of the northern region in the depths of the northern region's 10,000 feet mountain, the 9 heavens snow dragon python, and took it away. In other words, if not for the fact that the last 10th of the divine mountain origin, the creation wood divine tree, of the southern region, had reincarnated, causing the immortals to be unable to find it, the immortals would probably have obtained the last 10th of the divine mountain origin already. 10 years ago, my true spirit revived. I didn't even completely see through So King Ian's true identity. Actually, I only truly saw through her true identity recently. Therefore, the immortals attacked the Heaven Enlightenment sect decisively. If nothing unexpected happens, the Heaven Enlightenment sect will definitely be destroyed by the immortals. I will also bring So King Ian to the central world and sacrifice the last 10% of the divine mountain source of the other 3 divine mountains to the immortal ancestor. Suddenly, at this moment, a vast commotion came from the battlefield of the Heaven Enlightenment sect. The 3 ancestors of the Heaven Enlightenment sect fought with the 3 immortal kings of the immortal race. The 2 sides fought repeatedly and displayed various divine powers and methods. The 3 ancestors of the Heaven Enlightenment sect originally had an absolute advantage, but 3 immortal kings appeared from the immortal race, causing a total of 6 immortal kings to surround them. The ancestors retreated step by step and gradually fell into a disadvantage. Moreover, in several exchanges, they were already injured. At such a dangerous moment, an incomparably terrifying aura woke up. Chapter 259 Human Race's Supreme Being, Xiao Fan. Ming naturally noticed this Supreme Being aura that had suddenly revived. It was indeed very powerful and had reached an extremely terrifying level. He saw a huge purple gold pillar of light that rose into the sky from the center of the Heaven Enlightenment sect battlefield. It entered the sky and broke through the atmosphere in succession. The astral layer, the void layer, the calamity and nirvana layer. It was as if it wanted to pierce a huge hole in the mystic world. Terrifying. It was extremely terrifying. This aura. An extremely surprised expression appeared on Yang Li's face, and he said in a rather surprised tone, "The human race's supreme being. This is indeed his aura. The reincarnation of the human race's supreme being is actually also in the Heaven Enlightenment sect. He actually revived. Who could it be?" Yang Li's gaze quickly looked at the Heaven Enlightenment sect battlefield. It's indeed Xiao Fan. Qi Ming's gaze also landed on the Heaven Enlightenment sect battlefield. In that purple gold pillar of light, a rather familiar figure appeared. It was Xiao Fan. The light fog around Xiao Fan was suffused and dazzling. 12 purple gold lotuses appeared around him one after another, lifelike. More and more 12th grade purple gold lotuses appeared. An entire 129,600 flowers had appeared. Not a single flower was missing. There were no extra flowers. The number was just right. In an instant, the 129,600 12th grade purple gold lotus flowers fused together and completely fused into Xiao Fan's body. A 12th grade purple gold lotus mark appeared between his brows. Not long after, the powerful Supreme Being aura was restrained. The purple gold pillar of light disappeared and the 12 grade purple gold lotus flowers that filled the sky also disappeared. Xiao Fan slowly opened his eyes. In his eyes, there were many things that were filled with the vicissitudes of time. With a wave of his right hand, another 12th grade purple gold lotus flower appeared out of thin air. Immediately after, he took off the ring in his hand and placed it in the 12th grade purple gold lotus. It fused into it and slowly closed. Not long after, this 12th grade purple gold lotus flower nurtured a lifelike lotus body. It also allowed Pill Elder in the ring to be reborn, and a white-haired elder appeared. He was Pill Elder, the grandpa in the ring who was also Xiao Fan's master. Half an hour later, Pill Elder opened his eyes. He had already completely recovered. He obtained a full body. "Xiao Fan, you Pill Elder," looked at Xiao Fan with a complicated expression. "Master." Xiao Fan smiled. "I didn't expect you." Pill Elder hesitated. "Master." Xiao Fan said, "Leave first. Leave the rest to me. The Heaven Enlightenment sect will not be destroyed, and the Immortal scheme will not succeed." Pill Elder nodded solemnly. "It's actually him." Yang Li took a deep breath, and the surprise on his face did not fade. The human race's supreme being is actually Xiao Fan. I really did not expect it. Human race's supreme being. Qi Ming was also watching. At this moment, Xiao Fan's true spirit had completely awakened and obtained the full power of the human race's supreme being. He did not even need to transcend the tribulation and directly reached the Mahayana realm, the sealing realm of the mystic world. That is human race's supreme being. He actually revived at this moment. This 101. How can this be? Shock. It was extremely shocking. Immortal King Linglong, Blood Venerable Immortal King, and the other 4 Immortal Kings observed Xiao Fan's situation and were extremely shocked. Clearly, they had indeed not expected the human race's supreme being to revive at this moment. Moreover, after sensing the powerful aura, their expressions were very serious. "Senior brother Xiao Fan. It's senior brother Xiao. It's Xiao Fan. He's actually the human race's supreme being. This is unbelievable. Ha ha ha. This is great, this is great. Senior brother Xiao Fan is the human race's supreme being. Moreover, his true spirit has revived at such a critical moment and recovered all his strength. Our Heaven Enlightenment sect is saved. We're saved. Good, good, good." 1. Excited. Thrilled. They were extremely excited. On the battlefield of the Heaven Enlightenment sect, the Grand Elders, legacy disciples of the Heaven Enlightenment Immortal Mountain, the Peak Masters and Elders of the 12 Peaks, and all the disciples of the Heaven Enlightenment sect all showed an extreme excitement expression. The war had lasted until now. The Heaven Enlightenment sect suffered heavy losses and was completely at a disadvantage. The 3 ancestors of the Heaven Enlightenment sect were even completely suppressed by the 6 immortal kings. They could not last long at all. Now, the human race's supreme being had revived and regained all his strength. This was like seeing a new hope for the entire Heaven Enlightenment sect. They were naturally extremely happy. Damn it! How can this be? Why did the human race's supreme being suddenly revive? This is really troublesome. Don't worry. So what if he's the human race's supreme being? I believe that immortal kings will definitely defeat him. Our immortal race will definitely win. Attack! Destroy the Heaven Enlightenment sect. Boom! 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 The immortals shouted angrily. They were not shocked by the aura of the human race's supreme being that Xiao Fan had revealed. Their shouts shook the heavens and the earth. Moreover, the battle became even more intense. Immortals! Xiao Fan's gaze was cold. His gaze had already landed on the divine mountain of the 6 immortal kings. He quickly attacked with monstrous might. With a wave of his hands, endless purple gold flames appeared. They covered the sky and surged. What was more terrifying was the earth-shattering purple gold flames even transformed into the Dharma idol of a fire phoenix and a true dragon. They were lifelike and soared into the sky, letting out waves of roars. Very powerful. It was extremely powerful. Myriad form purple golden flame. Xiao Fan attacked extremely violently and used an extremely powerful divine power technique, the myriad form purple golden flame. After this divine power technique was used, it could use the purple gold divine flame that burned everything in the world to evolve into all things in the world. Human race's supreme being. We will fight you. Come and fight. Let us see your strength as the human race's supreme being. 1111. The 3 immortal kings flew out. The immortal race's dharmic powers surged as they used divine powers one after another. With their powerful strength, they blocked Xiao Fan's myriad form purple golden flame. Human race's supreme being. A very surprised expression also appeared on Patriarch Heaven Secret's face. I didn't expect the human race's supreme being to wake up at this time. Moreover, he's a disciple of our Heaven Enlightenment sect. Ha ha ha. Patriarch Heavenly 9 laughed loudly with high battle intent. He clenched the hilt of his saber with both hands and slashed out an extremely terrifying saber light that sent the blood venerable immortal king flying. Come and fight. The humans will win. Patriarch Black Yellow held the Black Yellow Mother Chi cauldron as he fought immortal King Nether River, who used the Nether River 4 swords to cast the Nether River array to block his attack. What do you plan to do now? Qi Ming looked at Yang Li. Stop this war. Yang Li said, if you're right, the 6 races of God, Devil, Immortal, Demon, Ghost, and Human are not enemies at all. We only have one true enemy. That's the Origin Immortal King. Yang Li took a deep breath, his gaze cold. I have to stop this battle. There's no need to continue. Then go. On the battlefield of the Heaven Enlightenment sect, after Xiao Fan's true spirit completely revived, his strength had already reached an extremely powerful level and even suppressed the 3 immortal kings. He was indeed the human race's supreme being. His combat strength was indeed very powerful. At the beginning, Qi Ming had already used the great divine power of the shifting stars and covered the entire Heaven Enlightenment sect with supreme dharmic powers. This way, Qi Ming completely covered the secrets of the Heaven Enlightenment sect. Most importantly, Qi Ming only had one goal in doing this, and that was to block the senses of the Origin Immortal King and not let him know the situation on the Heaven Enlightenment sect battlefield. The Origin Immortal King's strength was extremely powerful, and he even suppressed the consciousness of the mystic world. With the divine power of the Origin Immortal King, if Qi Ming did not use the power of the divine power of the shifting stars to hide the secrets of the Heaven Enlightenment sect battlefield, he would probably be easily deduced. When Qi Ming returned to the mystic world from the great desolate world, he had already used the divine power of the shifting stars to hide his secrets. Therefore, even if the Origin Immortal King knew that he had returned through the spatial treasure, he could not determine his exact location. On the other side, the scene changed. Immortal Race's Holy Land, Myriad Immortal Mountain. On the central Divine Mountain, in the Immortal Race's Immortal Ancestral Hall, the Origin Immortal King's consciousness returned, and the statue revived again. The statue that was originally inanimate gradually evolved into a living thing. He descended again. The Origin Immortal King opened his eyes. His face was indifferent and calm, and no expression could be seen. He calculated with his fingers and knew a lot of things. You're back indeed. The karma tribulation of the 99 heavenly tribulation. Back then, the mystic world consciousness took action and saved you. You owe the mystic world a huge karma. If you want to pass the 99 heavenly tribulation, you have to repay the karma of the mystic world consciousness. However, I didn't expect you to really reach this level in such a short period of time. It's really beyond my expectations. Do you really think that I won't be able to find you if you hide the heavenly secrets? The Origin Immortal King transformed into a green flash of light and disappeared from the spot. He left the Immortal Race's Immortal Ancestral Hall and disappeared into the distance. Chapter 260 Ming appears, stopping the war. At almost the same time, on the Heaven Enlightenment sect's side. What? Ming frowned. He had already sensed that danger was about to arrive. This was because his cultivation level had reached a certain realm. Coupled with the fact that he had grasped various divine powers, he naturally had the heavenly sense and could predict good fortune or disaster. As expected of the Origin Immortal King, Ming reacted immediately. He calculated with his fingers and deduced it. He obtained the corresponding information. I didn't expect that after I used the great divine power of shifting stars to hide my secrets and even block all senses, it was still discovered by the Origin Immortal King. Forget it. Ming took a deep breath, then let me see the strength of this Origin Immortal King. On the battlefield of the Heaven Enlightenment sect. Everyone, stop! Yang Li roared as he descended from the void layer. A sword that reached the heavens descended and stabbed right in front of Xiao Fan and the Immortal Kings. Resplendent sword chi overflowed like a dragon and contained the power of the heaven and earth sword Dao. It even further evolved the scene of the world and everything. Sect Master. It's Lord Sect Master. That's great. Lord Sect Master is back. Ha ha ha. The Grand Elders of the Heaven Enlightenment sect were overjoyed. There were also many elders and disciples of the Heaven Enlightenment sect. They looked up at Yang Li with extremely excited expressions. From the top to the bottom, from the Grand Elders to the servant disciples of the 12 Peaks, they did not know that Yang Li was the Immortal Race's supreme being. With the power of the Heaven Enlightenment sect's sect protection array, if they wanted to break it, the Immortal Army would have to pay a considerable price. In fact, it was Yang Li who destroyed the Heaven Enlightenment sect's sect protection array from it, allowing the Immortal Army to break through it in half a day. You are. Xiao Fan stopped on the spot. A lotus flower treasure world had already formed around him. This was a rather powerful divine power that suppressed the Immortal Kings with the power of the Lotus Flower Treasure World. Immortal Race's Supreme Being. Xiao Fan took a deep breath, and a look of disbelief appeared on his face. The aura on your body is definitely not wrong. You're actually the Immortal Race's Supreme Being. No wonder the Heaven Enlightenment sect collapsed so quickly. No wonder the sect protection array was broken in half a day. I see. Sect Master of the Heaven Enlightenment sect, Yang Li, you're actually the reincarnation of the Immortal Race's Supreme Being. Moreover, your true spirit has revived. Xiao Fan was enlightened. Human Race's Supreme Being. Yang Li clasped his hands behind his back and stood at the hilt of the heavenly sword. He looked at Xiao Fan and said in a low voice, "You're right. I'm indeed the Supreme Being of the Immortals." What? This is impossible. This is impossible. Impossible. How can this be? Sect Master is actually an immortal, the immortal race's supreme being. No. Shock. They were stunned. They were extremely shocked. All the elders and disciples of the Heaven Enlightenment sect were dumbfounded. They had disbelief on their faces. They could not imagine that the sect master they respected was actually the immortal race's supreme being and the greatest enemy of their human race. Something like this was too unbelievable. However, this was the truth. Yang Li was the reincarnation of the immortal race's supreme being. Greetings, immortal race's supreme being. The immortals welcome the arrival of the immortal race's supreme being. The 6 immortal kings of the immortal race bowed to Yang Li. The many immortal army on the battlefield also bowed to him. Their voices were respectful as they cheered loudly. At this moment, no matter how unwilling the elders and disciples of the Heaven Enlightenment sect were, they had to believe it. They had to accept this incomparably cruel reality. The sect master of the Heaven Enlightenment sect that they respected greatly was the immortal race's supreme being. Yang Li. Patriarch Heaven Secret's gaze was cold. In the air above his palm, the Heaven Secret's compass floated in the air. Moreover, the Heaven Secret's manner had already returned to his hand. I really miscalculated. The Heaven Secret's divine power calculated everything, but I could not have expected that you would actually be the reincarnation of the immortal race's supreme being. Immortal race, truly impressive. Patriarch Heavenly Nine clenched the pitch-black saber in his right hand tightly and said with killing intent, "You actually hit so deeply. This is really our mistake. It's useless to say anything else." Patriarch Black Yellow said in a low voice, "Let's see who's stronger." Enough. Yang Li's gaze was cold. His gaze swept across all the humans and immortals present. The power of the immortal race's supreme being was completely released, giving all the humans and immortals present an incomparably huge pressure. He could be said to have awed everyone present. He then said in a low voice, "Stop the battle. The humans and the immortals are not enemies." Immortal King Linglong was stunned. He was stunned as he looked at Yang Li. He did not expect him to say such a thing. Immortal race's supreme being, do you know what you're saying? Ridiculous, simply absurd. Blood Venerable Immortal King shouted. Immortal race's supreme being, are you still thinking about your past life? Although you're the sect master of the Heaven Enlightenment sect in this life, you're still the immortal race's supreme being, not the human race's supreme being. Immortal King Nether River shouted. Immortal race's supreme being. Were you wrong just now? Please take back your words. Today, we must destroy the Heaven Enlightenment sect and take away the last 10th of the divine mountain source of the southern region. The other 3 immortal kings berated. Hee hee. Patriarch Heavenly Nine sneered, Yang Li, we don't need you to fake kindness here. That's right. Patriarch Black Yellow said, I've already said just now. Since things have come to this, there's no need to reconcile. Let's fight with all our might. Yang Li. Patriarch Heaven Secrets frowned, what do you mean? Interesting. Interesting. Xiao Fan laughed loudly. His gaze landed on Yang Li. I didn't expect that you, the supreme being of the immortal race, would actually say such a thing. Immortal army, listen up. Yang Li shouted in a deep voice, stop the battle immediately. But... The immortal army was a little dumbfounded. As the immortal race's supreme being, Yang Li's orders stunned the immortal army. For a moment, they did not know if they should stop fighting. After so many years, in the immortal race, even if Yang Li was the supreme being, his authority was not great. The ones who truly controlled the situation were naturally the 108 immortal kings, and the origin immortal king was behind the scenes who controlled everything. The immortal army did not listen to Yang Li's orders to stop the battle. Immortal King Linglong and the others widened their eyes, you actually really want to stop the battle? This Xiao Fan was also stunned, he's actually serious. What does he want to do? Patriarch Heaven Secrets and the others looked at each other. Immortal King Linglong. Yang Li's cold gaze landed on the 6 immortal kings. Is my order useless? I'm telling you to stop fighting. Please forgive us for not agreeing. Immortal King Linglong said in a low voice. We don't understand the meaning of a truce at all. The blood venerable Immortal King also said. Immortal race's supreme being. The other immortal kings also said, please give us a reason that can convince us. Yang Li said in a low voice, I'll tell you this. The immortal ancestor that you worship and believe in has long died. His true identity is the origin immortal king. He used our immortal race from the beginning and even deceived the entire world. His plan to create the immortal world was fake from the beginning. We were all tricked. This is impossible. Supreme Being, what nonsense are you talking about? What you said is impossible to be true. Who deceived you? Immortal King Linglong and the others did not believe Yang Li at all. The 108 immortal kings had believed in the immortal ancestor from the beginning. It could be said that they were the most loyal subordinates of the origin immortal king. Even if Yang Li stated his reason, they would not believe him. You. Yang Li's expression darkened. Ha ha ha. At this moment, Qi Ming took the initiative to appear. He laughed loudly. Black Lotus and So King Ian followed behind him and descended from the void layer. He stood in the sky above the Heaven Enlightenment Sect battlefield. Qi Ming smiled and said, although you're the supreme being of the immortal race, it seems that your words in the immortal race are too useless. You're probably inferior to an immortal king. With your ability and status, it seems that you can't stop this war. Yang Li's expression darkened. Qi Ming. Immortal King Linglong's eyes widened as he stared straight at Qi Ming. Although he had never seen the latter's true appearance, he could be said to be the greatest wanted criminal of the immortals. The immortals had long investigated Qi Ming's various situations. Moreover, almost all the immortals knew Qi Ming's appearance and various information about him. You actually dare to come back? Blood Venerable Immortal King shouted. How dare you? Immortal King Nether River berated. I see. The other 3 immortal kings reacted. No wonder the immortal race's supreme being said those words just now and did such a stupid thing like stopping the battle. It seems that he was deceived by you, Qi Ming. Uncle Master Qi, you're still alive. A look of joy appeared on Xiao Fan's face. This is great. Qi Ming. Patriarch Heaven Secrets was also surprised. Qi Ming is still alive. That's great. Qi Ming is still alive. Good, good, good. Junior brother Qi. Elder Feng, Miao Hongjian, Yuan Feng, Lu Qinjian, and the others raised their heads. Their gazes landed on Qi Ming, and they were filled with surprise and excitement. I knew that he would not die so easily. Shang Guanwenj said. Disciple Qi Ming greets Master Patriarch Heaven Secrets and Teacher Feng. Qi Ming cupped his hands and bowed to Patriarch Heaven Secrets and Elder Feng.